Yes. People, come on, let's go. I tell you, people, this man is back again. I'm talking about the Don in the building. No mess around. I tell you, and on this station, on this broadcast, I tell you, when it rains, he pours. He pours heavily. It's all about Debbie. I'm not talking about Deborah. I'm talking about Debbie. Debbie, North London Debbie. And Manchester United is facing Manchester City. So they call it Manchester Debbie. North London Debbie. That's small club. They're all ready. Oh my goodness. I'm in the spirit. I can't wait. Oh. Please subscribe to the channel whenever you watch it from. Smash the like on the video. We're all set. I tell you, I am in the building. Francis, for the first time, we are welcoming Man City analysts on this program. Francis is ready all the way from Nigeria. He's kicking, he's ready. He's telling me Pep Guardiola is going to wallop. I'm talking about Eric Ten Hag. Now, baby. Already. It's all about Deborah. I'm talking about Debbie match. Oh my goodness, I'm in the spirit. What am I talking about? Yes, we all set here in the building. Oh my goodness. What's the topic for today? You all know EPL preview. The game 20. That massive game. 2 games this weekend. Manchester City welcoming Manchester United welcoming Manchester City. Everything is about Manchester at the moment. And the North London, those small club. I'm talking about Arsenal, who is residing on top of the league right now, sitting pretty well. Getting ready. Oh my goodness. What is going on? Alright, that's what we have tonight. Masterclass. Getting ready. Alright, let's look at the table. I'm talking about the fixtures for this weekend. What is wrong? Aston Villa getting ready at the moment. Alright, people. You're in the grooves right now. Let me welcome this man. I'm talking about this man is ready. Francis is ready. What's going on, Francis? Talk to me. Manchester City fan. Can you hear me loud and clear? Francis, talk to me. Are you ready? You're live.
Yeah, I can hear you. You're
welcome into the groove. Francis,
thanks for having me.
Manchester City fan. To the call, to the board.
Thanks for having me.
Let me welcome this lady. First lady of Istv. Lady Vi in the building. It's a Liverpool fan. You want to poke nose. It's our Debbie. Oh my goodness, Lady Va. Can you hear me? Talk to me, Lady Va.
Yes, John. Good evening, everybody. I'm here to poke nose, I'm here to separate fights.
Alright. I'm in the spirit now. Oh my goodness. Robbie, can you hear me loud and clear? What's going on, bro? Are you ready?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear the people? Let her enjoy the puck moving because right now Chelsea and Liverpool they will come and tell you that something is wrong with them. But at this point in time, I think everybody just have to enjoy what football is giving to us right now, irrespective of what each of the clubs are going through. The most important thing is the fact that everybody right now are just trying to just look for 3 points and also make sure that they are sending the table. And just like you rightly pointed out, tomorrow we're going to see the Manchester United, the Manchester Derby, Manchester City, Manchester United, that one going down at Old Trafford. And I think for the first time, I think Arsenal fans will be sitting on the fence alongside Manchester United because they'll be hoping and praying that Manchester United can get the job done for them and ease up the pressure Man City are putting on their neck right now. But we all know. For me, I really don't care who wins tomorrow. I even pray that Man City beats United tomorrow so that we can enjoy this race between the two teams. But I really don't see City coming out with a win tomorrow. Because at this point in time, I think United has grown in the past couple of weeks, and of course, it's going to be a tough one. So I don't think it's going to be a straightforward victory for City. Even if City are going to win tomorrow, it's not going to be a straightforward victory. Then for Arsenal, Tottenham, I think for Arsenal, Tottenham is going to be a very, very tough encounter. But on paper, Arsenal look all good for all 3 points. But we all know the way football can be sometimes. Arsenal might just miss a step on Sunday, and Tottenham might just be there to cash in on that 3 points. So let's see what the weekend holds for these teams, because it is going to be a massive weekend from tomorrow till Sunday. So let's just enjoy football for what it brings to us as fans of the game.
All right. Thank you so much, bro. Right now, I'll be welcoming this man. He's fuming. He's angry. He's complaining. All their players are injured. I don't care. You know what I'm talking about, people. Smudge like on the field. For the person I'm talking about right now, I'm talking about Prof. Talk to me. Chelsea in the mud. What's going on, bro? Are you happy? Tell me something. I know you're fuming.
Good evening, everybody.
Look at that tone, people. That tone is gentle.
It's good to be in the show today. You know, I'm not like I'm fuming. It's just that, you know, a lot of people are taking the piece off Chelsea at the moment. When there's when the reasons for this supposed downfall is very obvious to everybody to see. First of all, I want to quickly say something. We won the league 2016-2017 under Antonio Conte, and ever since then, Chelsea has been not challenged for the title. This is not a Graham Potter problem. The problem has lasted for over 5 years now. This Chelsea finished fourth, third, and fourth after Antonio Conte challenged for the title. There's been problems with the recruitment when Roman Abramovich has been there. Yes, we've won Champions Leagues and FA Cups and this and that, but we've not been there. We've not been challenging Liverpool and City for it. And it's been a long-standing problem with the recruitment. We signed Lukaku, likes of Werner. These players have come. It wasn't Todd Boehly that signed them. It wasn't Graham Potter that signed them. And they've been in the club and they've been in and out and nothing to show for it. So this is a new dispensation, and I hope the Chelsea fans listening can be a little bit patient with Graham Potter. He has not had it. I didn't want Tuchel to be sacked, but it's gone now, and it's Potter that we have. And these owners feel like, you know, they seem like people who want to give him a long-term opportunity to change the club. And you can see that with the signings that we're making. We're making, for me, good signings, young signings that can take us to the next level. I want them to be a little bit patient with Potter, you know, because these injuries are not his problem. It's been a very unfortunate season. Look at João Felix coming in yesterday and 6 shots on target, the highest ever in the Chelsea team in the season. You know, it's not rocket science. No player has had that much shot in the first half of the game. So the players that have been signed there, they've been underperforming. Some of them but the injuries also have compounded the woes. And so for that reason, it's not a Potter problem. I feel like Potter hasn't lost the dressing room. We just need time. When the players are back, injured are back, and then we are still putting in this abysmal result, then we can now say, okay, it's time for a change manager. But as far as I'm concerned now, we should stick to the Graham Potter. So that's what I have to say.
All right. You can hear that from the fuming fans, angry fans. And also, right now, I want to welcome this main man. Irate, what's going on? Talk to me, Irate. Irate, are you ready? What's going on, bro?
Hey, they done. Good. Everything good on this side.
All right, you can hear that voice. You can hear that man fuming. That Chelsea man is fuming. Angry.
Yeah, they should be angry with themselves and their owner.
They keep signing. Keep big signing. I don't know what they're going to sign next. Maybe Ronaldo, I don't know. All right, let me welcome Ehis. Ehis, can you hear me quickly? You're an Arsenal fan. Are you getting ready? I'm sure you're getting ready. Talk to me, Ehis. You're welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you very much, John. First off, congratulations to Mikel Arteta and Martin Odegaard for winning the manager and the player of the month for November and December. And also congratulations to Benjamin Mendy for being relieved of the charges and he's no longer in prison. So congratulations to him. We hope he gets his career back on track. And I'm pumped to get onto the show. A lot of talking points.
Yes.
Good to go, man.
All right. Thank you so much, man. You're welcome to the show. First thing first, it's all about this match coming up in a moment. Let me pull up. Aston Villa is getting ready for Leeds United any moment from now. But today we want to look at this derby. I'm talking about Manchester United versus Man City. Going to this game, also we are going to talk about that North London derby. I'm talking about Spurs welcoming Arsenal. It's going to be loud tonight. So sit back anywhere you're watching from. Please smash the like on the video. We are about to get started. Right now, let's look at Manchester United derby tonight. I'm trying to pull up something. You're welcome, guys, into the show. The backstage, Kule is there. Shayel Omidora is also there. But at the moment, this is how far we can take at this moment. Let's start with Manchester United. Robbie, you'll be talking about Manchester United, and also Francis. For the first time, you'll be coming up to the show. You want to welcome me to Istv. At the moment, you are be talking about Manchester City. But let's get these things straight now. I want to ask, I'm trying to look for the question first of all, foremost, is going to be, my question is this. How can Man City win this game? Let me start from you, Francis. Let me hear from you, please. How can Man City win this game?
Okay, first of all, I would say thanks for having me to the show. It's a pleasure to be here. Then,
all right,
for the game, we Manchester City heading into this Manchester derby, we're not in the best of form right now. And the annoying thing about this form of a thing is it's not that we don't have the players to tackle to win all these games we've been playing so far, but it's just down to some managerial decisions. You kind of see Pep playing players out of their position, playing certain tactics that kind of affect the team. So, but an out of form Manchester City will still trash Manchester United 4-0. I'm certain of it.
Robbie, are you still there? Robbie, you can hear that. Robbie.
I am laughing at your assumption. An out of form Manchester City will trash Manchester United 4-0. Wonderful. I'm clapping for you.
I can assure you that. So the way I see we can win this game, definitely it's going to start from our defense. Obviously, Ederson is going to start in the net. It's obvious. Now in our defense, the first thing we need to do is to stop Marcus Rashford. The guy he's trying to copy the form of Haaland, but his own will die with time, I'm sure of that. So the first thing I feel we need to do is to make sure Kai Walker marks Rashford. He's the one who can match the pace of Rashford. He's experienced enough to know Rashford. And Anthony Martial, I heard, is injured, so he's a bonus for us. I feel we have the defense that can tackle Elanga also, so he's not a problem for me. Anthony is one kind of a left-footed player. I'm sure Cancelo or Ake, whoever is playing there, can mark Anthony and hold him well. Now, coming to the midfield, that is the main thing we need to tackle, because Manchester United, they've been playing a possession good game, and a good credit to them. So I feel we need to first of all dominate possession from the center. We already have players that can do it for us. We have Rodri, an excellent ball holding player. When in possession and out of possession, is a good player. One of the best defensive midfielders in the world. Casemiro is still learning, he's still learning. Then we have KDB, a master with passes and everything. So I feel
how many titles does your Rodri have? How many titles does your so-called
He has Premier League. He has Premier League.
How many titles does Casemiro have? How many?
Casemiro took the titles at Real Madrid. No, listen, Casemiro took those titles at Real Madrid, not Manchester United. We are yet to see him carry a Manchester United trophy.
That is where you goofed it. I didn't ask under which club. I said, how many titles does Rodri have? How many titles does Casemiro have? That is the question. Okay. So it doesn't matter what club they won it, even if it is Enyimba of Nigeria. How many titles does this player have? So
okay. Casemiro has about 4 or 5 Champions Leagues to his
So
name.
you don't just come and say Rodri is one of the best midfielders in the world. How many titles has he won? When did he start playing football?
He's
No, well, I
German.
didn't.
We are coming to that.
Okay,
Continue.
We are coming to that.
okay. Now,
Go
the
on.
first thing, like I said, is to make sure Manchester United don't have more possession more than Manchester City. We need to make sure we dominate it, and we are sure we have the players that can do it. We have KDB, we have Bernardo Silva, and we have Rodri. I don't want a Gundogan in that game. We've been kind of playing out of place a little, and I think Bernardo Silva is the person we need in that midfield. Now, going forward, obviously, Grealish is my number one person in the left-hand side.
All right.
Haaland has been throwing.
So are
Yeah.
you saying Foden should be on the bench?
No, I'm saying Foden should be on the right.
Oh, the right.
Because
What about Mahrez?
now there's something people fail to notice. Mahrez has been the player on form. Now he scored free kick and a penalty goal against Chelsea, and he scored against Chelsea too. But now we need to remember that Foden was a player that played on that left wing before. He was the guy that scored a hat-trick against Manchester United. I believe Robbie will certify me on that one. Now, since after the Manchester United game, we've not seen Foden play on that right wing again.
Yeah.
So it's not as if Foden has been out of form. He has just been playing on the left, and he's been asked to play a role that he was used to playing when City had a false nine. That is one mistake I believe Pep is already making. So for me, I believe Foden needs to go to that right. He has been our player there. He has not had a bad season over at the left. So I believe Grealish, Haaland, and Foden, they have been a fantastic trio. Like, they've been one of our best trio so far. Credit goes to Mahrez. He's on form and he plays nice, good football. But for me, I certainly feel Foden should go there, because so far defenders are trying to mark Haaland. They have been trying to mark Haaland against Chelsea. They tried to neutralize him and he worked for them. And another way of stopping Haaland is to stop KDB that gives him those crosses.
Yeah.
So I believe this game, heading into this Manchester United game, one thing that Pep needs to know is that we need other players that are going to score, that are going to take advantage of the situation that Manchester United defenders are going to mark Haaland. So we need to take advantage of those situations. We need people like Foden and Bernardo Silva into that box. That was the tactic that worked for us against Manchester United. The first goal, Foden was in the box to get a Bernardo Silva's cross and tap it into the net. So I believe this can actually work for us in our advantage. They're marking Haaland. It will give space for other players, of which I believe they can utilize well. Mahrez is not a player that likes staying in the box all the time. So I certainly believe Foden will play better than Mahrez tomorrow. And I believe he's in my starting 11 for tomorrow. But we all know Pep now. It's not what we plan. Pep will disappoint you, he will frustrate you. So that's it.
All right. Now, thank you so much, Francis. I'm going to head to Robbie right now. My questions still remain the same. I've said, how can Manchester United win this game? Robbie, over to you as a Manchester United fan.
Okay, well, first and foremost, let me actually just make something clear tomorrow. If United are actually going out to win the possession, I think United will really not succeed in that end. So I think United will be so happy for Man City to have the ball. And I think one of the most important tactic that ETH will take going into that game is to make sure that they hit Man City, that is on the counter, using the speed of Marcus Rashford and the other guys that will play in that forward line. And of course, just like the other guy said, sorry, I've forgotten your name. Marshall is out through injury. Anthony is very fast. Marshall is what's his name? Marcus Rashford is very fast. So I really don't know how he's going to play that tactics in front. I really don't want to see Elanga in that starting lineup because that guy has been crap.
I swear down.
That guy has been crap. I think the only thing that works on his head right now is just that stupid hair that he has on his head. So for him, let him just go into the fashion world and do whatever it is he wants to do.
Oh, Robbie, what do you think is going to replace Martial now? We're having a problem.
That is what I'm actually trying to figure out right now. But I think the most important thing that will make the difference for United tomorrow is the fact that Man United had almost a non-existent midfield the first time these two teams met early. That was last year, where
I think I lost Robbie there.
Tell you particularly
You're breaking right now, Robbie. Can you hear
in
me?
the subsequent games that United have played. So
Go ahead. I think it's the network. Can you hear me, Robbie?
I've been struggling for form as it is. So, and we also saw that game against Southampton a couple of days ago. Yes, it was not the way City planned that game. And of course, Pep, in a bid to survey that match, had to bring the big guns in the second half. But just to tell you that they were still unable to register a single shot on target in the second half. Yes, the big boys didn't play the first half, no problem. But the second half that they played, they were still not able to register a shot on target. And of course, contrary to what this guy is saying that Manchester United will focus on Haaland. Who told you is Haaland Messi that people not go about their business and they will now see them saying that okay, it's Haaland. Yes, the guy has potential, but in the past couple of games as well, the man has not scored. So there's the possibility, yes, he might score tomorrow. Nobody is saying he probably might not score tomorrow. But the thing there is, Eric Ten Hag is doing what he feels, he is going about his business, not minding whatever it is the opposition camp is doing. And that is why I will repeat it again. I am looking forward to that game. Whatever way that game swings, I will go and I will enjoy that game. But even if City are going to win tomorrow, it is not going to be business as usual tomorrow. That is one statement I will stand on. So I am not expecting to see a 9-goal thriller tomorrow. I am not expecting a 9-goal. I'm not expecting that. So, like I said, right now, City are exhausted. Right now, I think the side is a bit shaky due to the fact of their last cup tie. But we all know tomorrow is going to be a different ball game. Football is not played on paper. And like Eis will say, let me quote Eis, my mentor, that football is like biscuits. You don't know, you don't know what side he's gonna break into. So let me just try and mimic Eis there. So that is my summation as touching that game. I don't know who's gonna replace Martial tomorrow, but let's see what I think maybe late this evening or of course very early tomorrow morning we'll get to see what the coach has in store for who will replace Marshall in that particular role.
All right, then I'm going to call on Irate to come and settle the fight right now. Irate, can you hear me right now? Irate, at the moment, please, what can you say about this Manchester derby? Considering the fact we all know you're a Liverpool fan, you understand. But how do you see this game? How do you approach this game? The both teams.
First of all, I have to say I'm quite surprised to hear that people think Man City is out of form or they have any issues. I don't think they have any issues because I know they won Chelsea twice.
You that are saying thank you, you are the one that said your team is out of form.
And out of form, Manchester City will still trash you. Let's see tomorrow.
But Man City is never out of form. That's what I'm saying. Because I know they lost to Southampton where it wasn't like the strongest Man City side that faced Southampton.
Yeah.
And they beat Chelsea back-to-back, League and FA Cup. So I wouldn't suggest just that one game means Man City is out of form. Secondly, we all know favourites going into this time. Even though Man United are their last 6-7 games, if you compare both teams, Man United have the upper hand in terms of form. Mm-hmm. But we know in terms of quality, Man City has more quality than Man United. And we are still here talking about who will play the centre-forward role for Man United in the game. So, I don't know, the new guy they signed, Weghorst, I don't know if he's ready to
according to the report, he's not ready yet.
It's not ready.
Probably might not play tomorrow. Yes. Yeah. According to the report, he's not.
And Sancho is still in the wilderness. So, I don't know who...
Robbie, you tackle these people, I beg.
40 years now. 40 years wilderness today. It's so sad.
75 million pounds. We don't know.
In the bush, you don't enter bush.
In the bush. So
bad business.
That's for me. Kyle Walker, I think it will be. I think that's a position where Man United might want to exploit. But Kyle Walker knows Rashford very well. He has played against him several times in training and in the league itself. And when it comes to pace, we know Kyle Walker has almost no match. Probably only Mbappe in the world can outpace Kyle Walker. So I think Kyle Walker should be able to deal with the threat of Rashford, even though he's in a very good form. On the other side, Anthony, I'm not a big fan of him, honestly. He blows hot and cold. So
that guy is just terrible.
It will be facing João Cancelo, who we know is one of the best fullbacks in the league in that position. But I think where the game will be won and lost for me will be in midfield. And my question is Erik ten Hag going to make the same mistake he made in the first leg, where he played Eriksen and McTominay? If I'm Erik ten Hag, I'm not playing Eriksen in that match. I'm going with maybe Fred and Casemiro or McTominay and Casemiro. Because there's no two ways about it. Man City will dominate the midfield.
Fred and Casemiro are better. McTominay is rubbish. He tackles irrationally. He doesn't think with his head.
Yeah, but I mean, I will go with either combination instead of Eriksen, because Eriksen is a different type of player. He does not the type that will put a tackle in, and you are facing Rodri, De Bruyne, and Gundogan or Bernardo Silva in midfield. Man City will dominate the midfield. They will dominate the ball. There's nothing you can do about that. Also, it was interesting to hear. I probably didn't get that conversation coming earlier. Rodri and Casemiro. And Francis is right. Rodri is one of the best midfielders in the world right now.
Thank you so much.
For me, he is the best DMF in the Premier League, no doubt. From last season, now.
I'm talking about Casemiro.
No, of
Robbie,
course we know Casemiro. We know what Casemiro has done. We know what he has won. But I'm telling you, on current form, I would go for Rodri over Casemiro. For me. So I think Rodri offers more in midfield. I mean, you can see no one has been able to displace him. Even Calvin Phillips has tried. He really can't do that. So for me, it's very important in that team. And like I said, for me, it's the best DMF in the league. So the midfield for me is where the game will be won and lost. Erik ten Hag has to sort out that midfield and get a tackler alongside Casemiro and not Eriksen. Like Robbie said, I don't think it will be a high-scoring affair like the first leg. I think it's going to be a slight win for me, for Man City.
For Man City. Well,
sorry, Don, I just want to chip in there just to counter what Irit said. Why would you say Rodri is the best midfielder DM in the Premiership currently? Come on, man.
Help me, my bros. Help me. Thank you, Ganusa. Help me.
It's obvious for everybody to see now. It's obvious for everybody to see. Casemiro is just good with tackles and all. Rodri is an all-round player. He has the tackling. He has the passing range.
For me, I'm not doing any comparison between Rodri and Casemiro. I just want to counter what Irit said. You cannot say Rodri is the best DM in the Premiership at the moment.
I can say for me.
No,
that is what I say.
That.
For me,
okay, for you, okay.
Yeah,
but if you're looking at stats, if you're looking at games played, if you're looking at contribution, if you're looking at what we can count the number of DMs. I don't want to sound like I'm an Arsenal fan, but at the moment, you cannot rate Rodri over Partey. You cannot.
Oh yeah, okay.
Now not even bring it in the context. Now let me now join the conversation by comparing Rodri and Casemiro. Should get size. You can't compare Rodri with Casemiro. Casemiro
God will bless you, my brother. Should get size. God bless you.
Man. Come on.
Well, like I said, Rodri from last season up till now, for me, has been the best DMF. Casemiro is new to this league. While he has made a huge impact, for now, I will still go with Rodri for me over Casemiro. Maybe after the end of the season, things could change. But for now, I'll still go with Rodri.
All right. Let's quickly look at this combined 11. Quick one. Between these two goalkeepers, who do you think has the nod at the moment? I'm going to ask between Francis and Robbie.
It's hard to admit, but I'll go for De Gea. Not to admit, but I have to go for De Gea. No, the only thing I am confident about Ederson is his passes. But in terms of goalkeeping and the rest, no, he's not so good. And De Gea has been like a reliable source for Manchester United this season. The game against West Ham, he was their hero. He has fetched them a good number of points this season. So I'll pick De Gea. Sorry to say it. Robbie,
All
I'm
right,
sorry to say it, but I'll pick you there.
Robbie, they hear that.
I do, yeah.
So, all right, let's move on to the back line. I mean, talking about back four at the moment, this is what we have. Manchester will be coming in with Martinez, Varane, Shaw, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. While Manchester City, I think it should be lining up with Ake, Ruben Diaz, Walker, and John Stone.
No, Ruben Diaz is not going to play, and John
really?
Stones is. Yeah, John Stones and Ruben Diaz are not going to play. Pep confirmed in his press conference today that they were not going to play.
Beautiful. That sounds good. So who do you think is going to replace with Francis?
Now the thing, so far, Akanji and Ake are going to play. They are sure centre back pairings. But here's another thing: if John Stones were to play, Ake would definitely go to left back.
Yeah.
So as John Stones is out,
Yeah.
Ake, there are two things: either Pep decides to play Cancelo left back, and Ake goes to the center, or he decides to bring in Laporte, and Ake goes to the left. So there are two things there. We are not yet sure about the centre back that is going to play tomorrow, but I'm giving it to Akanji and Ake tomorrow.
All right, let's move on to the combined 11. Quick one. Who do you think should be on the left back? Look short, straight up, with no waste time. Am I right? Do we agree?
Yeah, look sure.
Oh, and the right back at the moment, I think Walker should walk in.
Walker for right back.
Walker for right back. That should be there. Now, these two centre back, who are we pairing? And I have Varane and Martinez. I mean, nobody should go there now. Francis, I'm
thinking Akanji and Ake safe, but if I'm to consider, I'm going to go for Varane. But it's going to be Varane and Ake for me.
Well, I would have gone for Varane. I would have gone for Varane and Akanji for me.
I think I'll go for Varane and Akanji.
Akanji was my number one defender, but seeing what Gray did to him against Everton, my confidence in him went down.
It was a one-off game.
So who do we put? So the two.
So I think
I'll go for Varane and Ake.
Okay, well, since your player is there, no problem. So let's do Varane and Ake then. Well, like I said, I would have prepared Varane and Akanji. Akanji is a good guy as well, but no wala.
Now, this is where it's going to be tough now. The midfield, Casemiro or Rodri?
Is it even a question? Put all Man City players there. Field all Man City players in the midfield.
We should have, for me, I'll go with a 4-2-3-1. So I will have
in the
midfield.
Okay. All right. 4-2-3-1.
Yes,
okay.
I would have those two slots. I'll have Casemiro and Rodri, then De Bruyne in front of them.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yeah. No.
All right. This will be Rodri and Casemiro. Beautiful guy. Erogo. Matiti. You go hear that tomorrow. So,
let's see how it goes.
It's a KDB.
Yes,
definitely.
No, Bruno.
Bruno is not a match. He's not an option.
All right, what's going to be here? Rashford, of course, Doctor Rashford. Do we agree?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think for me, it should be Mahrez.
For me, I'm going for Mahrez in that position.
That guy is actually so underrated player.
For me, I'll go for Foden. I'll go for Foden.
Mahrez is on Foden. Almost forget this. Mahrez, leave him. Now, who is going to be the striker?
We don't need to.
Haaland is the striker now. Haaland is the striker.
Oh my God. Well, that's for Manchester United derby. Now let's move on straight to.
Sorry, Robbie. Let me just quickly, as a neutral, looking at this Manchester derby. I know a lot of people have made their postulations and analysis. As a neutral, if I'm to look at this game, I think Manchester United needs to up the ante. If you look at the games they played, like their recent match against Charlton Athletic in the Carabao Cup. Yes, I know the manager made a lot of changes. Yes, Yes, the manager Eric Ten Hag made a lot of changes, so that at times affects the balance of the team. The score in itself was not what translated in the game. You could see Charlton had
In the
to
game,
put
yes, very true.
yes, put Manchester United to the sword.
Yeah.
And if Charlton were to be a good a good side, possibly they might have taken all the chances. So, and one thing, looking at Manchester United, looking at the games they played, even in the EPL, the one against Wolves, and the last match they played, which they won, they give
Yeah,
opponents,
Northampton.
yes, they give opponent the opportunity to create chances. And when you're playing against Manchester
Yes,
City, you
Mm.
don't give the likes of Manchester City
they
the
don't give you.
opportunity
Yes,
to create chances because they will definitely make use of it. And that is what Eric Ten Hag should work on for the derby tomorrow. Make sure you close shop and ensure you don't give them a sniff of any chance of
Any chance?
creating
Yeah.
any possible opportunity. And that will be very, very difficult. That's why it's going to be an
And that's why
enticing
I
and
think
lovely
he is.
to watch.
That's why I'll prefer Fred to play in this game. I mean, what do you think?
Well, well,
Fred,
Fred comes
yeah.
with a lot of baggages. He divides the opinion of the Manchester United fan base. You see, some would say yes, we want Fred.
Or
You see,
Robbie, what do
some
you
would say
think?
nah, don't start
Fred
him.
should
So
do the
it's
job. I
dicey.
mean, there's a
Fred, Fred, is, Fred is
I
mobile,
think
so
playing
Fred should
Fred
do the job.
tomorrow. Yes, I think Fred tomorrow will be a very good option for the coach. And just like we earlier said, I don't know. Okay, just like Is was saying, I think Fred and Casemiro tomorrow would add some form of resistance in that midfield. And Fred is very mobile. Casemiro is somebody that is very intelligent. Casemiro is not this kind of person that is on and off today. He is very intelligent and he gets his head into the game as fast as possible. So I think the combination of both of them tomorrow would show us the trajectory or the direction of where that game is actually going to head into tomorrow. We know that Man City are going to create chances no matter how you try, except tomorrow just turns out to be one of those bad days for the team. And personally, I really don't see that happening. So, like he is rightly said, I think Manchester United really need to be brutal and they need to be stingy tomorrow to make sure that opportunities do not fall on the laps of Manchester City as often or as easy as possible tomorrow.
All right. Now let's move to this North London derby. I'm going to start with Ace right now. North London derby is always a kind of game whereby you have two enemies. Ace going into this game. I'm going to ask a question. How can Arsenal win this game? It's an away game for Arsenal. Over to you.
Yes, if it's kind of dicey because if you look at the previous games we've played,
Mhm.
at I don't know if they call it the Lane, but at the home of Tottenham, this is a
Yeah.
new stadium. Even when at White Hart Lane, it has always been difficult. The least we pick out from there is either a draw, and the last time we won, I don't think in the last 10 games, possibly we won there once.
I think
I
so.
guess
Yeah.
if my stat serves me right, even in the season where the Invincibles won the league at the White Hart Lane, it ended in a draw, 2-2, I guess. So it's always difficult going to the home of Tottenham because even if they are at their poorest form, once they see that Arsenal is in town, they just up the ante and tend to die on the pitch and give in their best. One major factor going into tomorrow's match is looking at the manager's tactics. We've seen Conte, we've seen in the start serves us right that looking at their last 10 or possible 15 games, they've always had a slow start
Hmm.
in the first
In
half.
the
The
first
game they
time,
won
yes.
against the game against they won against Bournemouth away, the same thing. Even their last game against Crystal Palace, the scoreline shouldn't deceive us because Crystal Palace just couldn't, you know, take them to the cleaners with the chances they were creating in the first half. They created loads of chances, but they just couldn't capitalize. And second half, Tottenham came, they turned into another beast and just went on a rampage and scored 4 goals. So tactics wise is what is going to determine this game. How does Conte want to approach this game? Does he want to go in a pragmatic way? Does he want to sit and probably hit Arsenal on the counter? Does he want to go all out? If he does any, I think Arsenal is ready for any. Ateta is ready. You could see how they got dominated when they came to the Emirates. And Conte at 61 minutes or 62 minutes thereabouts, tapping and losing out or giving up already. And I heard Kulisevsky, I don't know if I pronounced the name right, could be in this game because he just got back from injury and I think he's match fit to play this game. That's another joker I might want to use, using him on the position of where Zinchenko plays, because we know Zinchenko, even if he's in the team, he doesn't play really as a
So
left
you're
full
not
back.
playing Thierry. So Zinchenko comes in.
Obviously, based on, like I said, tactics, based on what Arteta would want to do. Arteta would want to dominate. He always liked to dominate. So playing Zinchenko at that left full back, making him invert into the midfield and creating overloads in that midfield to dominate the midfield is what he wants to do. Possibly dominate, take chances, score, and possibly bring in Tierney at the end of the game to manage the game. So it all depends on the tactics. I know Arteta is constant. He doesn't tweak. I think he has learned his lesson, and we could see the 16 or 17 games Arsenal has played thus far. It has been the same tactics in the EPL, except the Europa League, where it tweaks into a back three and play 3-5-2. But in EPL, it has always been constant 4-1-2-3. And like I said, it's going to be explosive. I see Tottenham, the fans, being the 12th man.
I
And I
tell
just
you.
hope with this officiating, with
Mhm.
this issue of accusing Arteta being on the sideline, always, trying to, what's the word, attack the referee or fight the referee. And the question is, when Arsenal were on a bad run last season, nobody saw this, nobody complained about this. Now Arsenal are winning and they are topping. All of a sudden, they can bring out the attitude of Arteta on the sideline. And the thing is, Arteta has always been like this, even from the get-go. From his first match against Bournemouth in the EPL 3 seasons ago, this is how Arteta is. He has always been feisty. He wants the best. He wants his players to give him the best. He's always demanding and he's always animated on the sideline. So I don't see where all this noise is coming from, saying Arteta tries to, Arteta tries to do a whole lot like deceive the referee, shout on the referee. That's, by the way, tactics is what would define this North London derby. And I see Arsenal going for the win. I see Arsenal going for the win.
Wow. Oh, wow. So over to you. I rate right now. How can Spurs win this game? Because you're going to help us represent us on Spurs. We're still looking for a fan to actually fill into Spurs in one of our programs. So I rate going into this game. How do you think the coach Conte will be able to approach this game? I rate.
First of all, I would say he has to get his tactics right. He will have to decide between going for a 3-4-3 or a 3-5-2.
3-5-2.
And if he goes for a 3-5-2, then he will have, I think, Bentancur, Højbjerg, and Bissouma in midfield. All three of them are central midfielders. So that's just going to have maybe Kane and Son up front. But if I'm Conte and I have Kulusevski, I think Kulusevski is very, very important to the way Conte wants to play and to the team in general. He should play a 3-4-3 and have Kulusevski, Son, and Kane up front. Son has not been in the best of form, but thankfully for them, Kane has been very good. Also, the back line has been shaky, blowing hot and cold. Romero, Dyer, and Longley have not been steady. They've not been able to help the team to keep clean sheets. Hugo Lloris has a mistake in him. So there's a lot of questions that have to be asked about this Antonio Conte team. But the first thing is they are at home. So they have the 12th man with them. And they know how important this game is. It's a derby game. It's hard to predict where it's going to go. And like you said, Arsenal has not had the best of results in this stadium in the EPL era. So it's going to be a tough game. Antonio Conte, for me, sometimes is just too defensive-minded. And his team starts games slowly.
Yeah.
Very slow. Now they are out of the top four. So he needs to get his team back into attacking gear. He needs to get Kulusevski on, get Kane starting. And also, despite the fact that Kane has been scoring goals, I think he needs to play a lot closer to the box 18. He's always dropping deep sometimes, which I know helps Kulusevski and Son. But Son has not been in form. So he should try to get Kane up high up the pitch where the fullbacks can deliver crosses, so they can trouble Arsenal's defense. Since the resumption of the World Cup, I would say Arsenal's defense, especially their two centre backs, have been kind of susceptible. Saliba, who has been solid and didn't put any foot wrong, is making a couple of decisions that are not the best since we got back from the World Cup. I think Gabriel has probably been better. So I don't think Arsenal's backline is as solid as it was before the World Cup. Nketiah has brought a lot of attacking passion up front. Honestly, he's scoring goals. He's in a good run of form, and that has gone well for Arsenal. But for Antonio Conte, just focus on your team, bringing out the best in them. You don't need to get involved with Arteta. I think both of them are going to get involved at the points because I don't think Arteta is going to change his ways on the touchline. Just focus on your team, get your team high up the pitch, get them to play to the energy of the crowd, and I think you can get all 3 points in this game. But I think worst case scenario, I don't see Arsenal winning this game. Worst case scenario is a draw.
It is. Oh, they like hell.
Well, I just feel this is going to be a statement win because if you look at how far Arsenal has gone, the run,
massive run.
Ever since they lost the dodgy loss they had at Old Trafford, based on I think they've been fantastic, and the only time they dropped points was against Southampton and Newcastle, and we know the Newcastle also another dodgy referee. So my worry as an Arsenal fan is going into this game, the officiating. We saw what happened last season. We saw how Son had to, play the cameo of reeling Odin in, and he got red carded. And I hope the Arsenal players are wary because they know where they're going to. Conte would want to put all the antics, apart from the tactical point of view, he would want to put other antics whereby players will get, emotional, players will, throw tackles, and the officiating is where I have a problem because I see possibly Arteta being red carded in that game because I don't know why Arsenal keeps getting charges from FA. You saw the picture that was trending when players appealed to the referee against Oxford United in the FA Cup tie. Arsenal were charged for that, and there are several pictures to show Newcastle, Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester United, where all their players surrounded the referee, not once, not twice this season already. And I don't know why Arsenal is getting the charge. So my fear is the officiating. I don't know who has been, I don't know who are the officials that will be officiating this game, but that will be my worry. Apart from that, on the field of play, the players, I know they will be emotionally charged. I know they know what is at stake. They know the journey ahead. They know what they want to achieve this season. If they put their acts together without getting emotionally involved with anybody on the pitch, play what you're supposed to play and do the right thing, I think nothing is going to stop us from picking the 3 points, except all of the things come into play, which is bad officiating, a player being sent off, manager being sent off, giving a penalty, dodgy penalty. I think all those decisions as well will take 25% of what's going to happen on that day.
All right. I have to say real quick about officiating. I don't think we should focus more on officiating. About Jurgen Klopp has also been charged this season, and I think overall they are looking at managers and the way they behave towards officials, especially on the touchline. I think that is just what they are looking at this season to kind of improve the behavior towards the referees. So I wouldn't say we should. As an Arsenal player,
I know.
I know the home advantage will always be there, but just don't focus on the officiating. Arteta is just the way he is, and he has been warned. Like you said, he might get red carded if he continues that way. So, but at the end, it doesn't have the quality on the pitch is what it is. It's Arsenal has enough quality to play the game. So I think they should just focus on that.
That was what. Yeah, I get your point. Quite all right. But that was what led to what I said initially. Why was it as a last season? This Arteta on the touchline has never changed. You've never seen Arteta change in his way, in his attitude. Even when Arsenal are losing, you still see him shouting, screaming on his players, telling his players, to put in the work. His attitude has never changed. Why is it that when Arsenal were not on the title charge, why didn't they see this? Why is it that now is when all of a sudden the light has beamed on Arteta and you can now find fault? I just feel it's not going to change.
Do
It's
you
not
think
going to change.
do you think it's all about a title charge?
Well, for
That
me,
the spotlight is on Arsenal and Arteta.
Exactly. The proof is in the pudding. I know you might say I'm biased as an Arsenal fan, but these are facts that I'm bringing out. Last season, 2 seasons ago, we've seen where Arteta had gone to the same way.
Yeah.
It's not as if he abuses the referee or he slaps the referee. He goes to the referee to ask, decision made. Why? We see managers do that. So why is it that this season is when the whole light is now beamed on him, and you could see charges upon charges consecutively on Arsenal? Come on, you don't need a soothsayer to tell us that, or you don't need a soothsayer to tell me possibly the FA is having an agenda. I don't have stats to back this up, but I'm just talking as an Arsenal fan. It has not been favorable to Arsenal. Like I pointed, Manchester United players did it, Liverpool players done it, Manchester City, Newcastle, Chelsea. Even yesterday in the Chelsea-Fulham game, we saw Chelsea
Don't
players
talk about Chelsea
surrounding.
now. They're angry now. Don't go there.
Oh, well, we could see the Chelsea players surrounding the referee because of the officiating that didn't go well with them. So why were they not charged? So these are all the things we point out. Like I said, it's my opinion, and as an Arsenal fan, I have the right to say so.
All right, let's talk about the score prediction for this encounter. That's match 20 fixtures. Starting with Aston Villa, I think they should any moment from now the match is going to start. Let's start with Aston Villa versus Leeds United. Francis, what's your score prediction for this game? Aston Villa, Leeds United.
I'm thinking a 2-2.
2-2. That's 2. All right. Now, Irate, what do you think about the scoreline for Aston Villa Leeds? What's your score prediction on that?
It's a big game for two managers that are looking to climb up the table and avoid relegation struggles. So, I think it should. For me, I'll go for a 1-1 draw.
1-1. Is what about yourself?
Well, I see Leeds winning this. Narrow win.
Even me, I feel Leeds will win this. Robbie, what's your score prediction on this?
A narrow win for Leeds. I'm going with 2-1 Leeds to win.
Leeds United. Now straight to the derby, not Deborah. I'm talking about derby. Manchester derby. That's Manchester derby is going to kick off tomorrow morning. Early tomorrow, we'll be here with the watch along for the match United versus Man City. Now, Francis, what's your score prediction? Be candid. Be nice. The way I'm seeing it, Man U is going to win. No doubt about it.
The way you see it is not the way I've seen it too. But one thing I'm sure, like my mind keeps telling me is that it's not going to be like the 6-3. It's not going to be like the 6-3 win. I don't think there are going to be much goals to be scored.
Once you put 6-3 there, once you mention 6-3. All right, talk to me. What's your score prediction on this?
I'm going for a Man City 1-0, 2-0 win. But Man City win.
Over to you. I rate. You hear that? What's your score prediction? I know.
I mean,
Ire's a bad guy. Liverpool fan to the core.
No, I'm actually going to be candid with my prediction, like you said. Even though you are our rivals as a Liverpool fan, but in all honesty, I see Man City picking up 3 points. They can't afford to drop any more points in the title race with Arsenal and with Newcastle, who for me are just absolutely fantastic. I go for Man City 2-1 win.
2-1 win. Do you agree with that? What's your score prediction?
Well, my heart tells me Manchester City will drop points.
My shit.
But my head tells me it's going to end in a draw.
Wow. In a
It's gonna
draw.
end
In a
draw.
draw. Robbie, do you agree with that?
Yeah, yes, I totally agree. I totally agree. In fact, a part of me is saying that Manchester United possibly might win that game tomorrow. But I think I will stick with a draw in this one. Either a 1-1 draw, a 2-1 draw. That is what I see in that game tomorrow.
All right, fantastic. For me, I'm going to go for Manchester United winning 3-0 at Old Trafford. I know everybody say,
You wish. You wish.
all right. I'm just going to ask one more from Irate. The match between Liverpool tomorrow against Brighton. Irate, are you confident going into this game? Then you give us your score prediction before we close the show. Going to this game, Liverpool.
Absolutely not. Zero
Wow.
confidence.
Wow.
And at least before yesterday, I would say I had some confidence, but the news coming out is Nunez might miss this game due to an injury. And if Nunez misses this game, the only option we have is to put a new boy we just signed up front.
That's a Gakpo,
and then probably put Chamberlain or Carvalho on that wing based on the options we have right now. So it's I would say confident, and Brighton, we know them, especially at home. It's
at home. They are very
game.
Wow, 12 game.
Tough game. So I would say I'll be happy as a Liverpool fan to get a point in this game right now. So as a Liverpool fan that I am, I'll just go for a 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw. All right. Everton, Southampton, Nottingham Forest, Leicester City. Wolves will be sitting at home waiting for West Ham to knock their door and beat them silly. And that will be on Saturday as well. Brentford, what are they doing? They're telling Bournemouth, come to our home. We're going to show you soccer. And that is for the weekend. The score prediction also for me, for Everton, I think Everton should be able. No, I don't think so. I don't think Everton. Ace, what do you think about Everton at the moment?
It's a relegation scrap. So even Southampton, they are not doing well. Well-spirited performance against Manchester City in the EFL Carabao Cup. So possibly we're going to see a scrap. We're going to see a slugfest. But I think Everton, that Everton, the Goodison Park, the way that stadium is structured, the fans are close to the pitch. So I feel the fans could help them out here. It's going to be a slugfest. A lot of blows will be thrown here, but it's who has the balls to win it will win it.
All right. Nottingham Forest will be welcoming Leicester City, as I've said, going to that game. Robbie, what do you think about that? Nottingham Forest welcoming Leicester City. Leicester City, they have not been performing so well.
Yeah, this is another terrible game again, because it is also a relegation dogfight. Nottingham Forest are still better off on the table. The last time I checked, they are 17th. Leicester City really not so doing very well, and of course, Nottingham Forest, I think they have the manpower, and they have the ascendancy on their side to get points from this game.
And
so I am very fearful for Leicester City. So I am leaning the way of Nottingham Forest getting at least a point, if not all 3 points from this encounter.
All right. I think Southampton at the bottom of the league right now. Am I right? Yes, I think so right now. It's going to be massive. Going into the next game, that's Wolves welcoming West Ham. Going into that game, Francis, do you have anything to say about that game, Wolves versus West Ham?
Well, I think Wolves are going to win it. They've been so impressive under their new manager. They've been playing good football. I think they're going to win it.
So what's your score prediction on that?
Either a 2-1 or a 1-0 win.
All right. Okay, for Wolves. And also Brentford welcoming Bournemouth. Irate, do you have anything to say about that game, Brentford?
Brentford at home, very strong.
Yeah.
Absolutely very strong with their crowd. And Bournemouth has, since the World Cup, after the World Cup, since the resumption of the league, they've not been good under their new manager. So I think Brentford with Tony, I think Tony should be back for this game.
Yeah, Tony should be back.
And with their crowd behind them, they should get all 3 points. I'm going for a Brentford 2-0 win.
2-0 win. Let's go to Sunday. El Clasico in APL. That's going to be Spurs versus Arsenal. But first, let's talk about that team, that club in the mud right now. The talk of the town. I'm talking about Chelsea versus Crystal Palace. Is going into this game, Chelsea versus Crystal Palace. Can they do something?
I'll just quickly point back to what Prof was saying. I just didn't want to, like the normal saying, you don't hit a man when a man is down. So I just needed to, I just needed him to let it out because I know he's not on the show right now. So he had it in mind and he wanted to let it out. So there's a lot to talk about Chelsea. I know Chelsea fans will not agree that their form is bad. Most of them will hide under the shadow of we have 6-7 players injured, like Prof will always do.
Always.
But the truth is, there is an adage that says, look into the mirror, self-analysis. When you self-critique yourself, self-critique the team, I think that's what Chelsea needs to do at this moment. Because even when Tuchel was the manager, when the season started, they were abysmal. They were piss poor, like I stated in the group chat earlier today. They were not fantastic. They dropped points. And that was what led to the sack of Tuchel, thinking Graham Potter would come and steer the ship. Fair to Graham Potter, his first 9 games, he went unbeaten. But all of a sudden, after the ninth game, things just went back to the way it was. And I think the truth about Chelsea is the players themselves. Is it not the same set of players? Like, if I'm not mistaken, close to 85 or 90% of the same squad that won Champions League, that won the World Cup club, it's still the same set of players. So what has changed? So and this is similar thing we're looking at in Manchester City as well. You see Gundogan coming out complaining that the passion is not there, the zeal is not there. The Manchester City players are not giving in their best in training, even in matches. So for Chelsea at the moment, Crystal Palace, they are a very, very strong opponent whenever you play, and it's a London derby again. When it comes to London derby, form goes out of the window. Anything can happen. When it comes to a derby match, form goes out of the window. Anything can happen. I feel they have the advantage because they are home. The fans could just try to rally them.
But don't you think it's going to be a tricky match in such a way that the fans can get it? I mean, they can start off something strange. I mean, they might start throwing chairs, table on the field.
It shouldn't get to that. It shouldn't get it that. But the only thing they just have to do as fans is to support the team because it's.
What do you think? Okay, what about the coach? Don't you think he has lost the dressing room right now?
Well, it is difficult to say because looking at especially yesterday's game, looking at the body language of the players, you could see
they don't want
they
to
were
play.
ready. No. You could see they were ready to give in. A team where the manager has lost the dressing room, you wouldn't see them put such a spirited performance yesterday. To be fair on Chelsea, they gave it the all. They tried, they came back, they rallied back. But that red card too was what affected.
The new signing.
Yeah, it affected them. So it's going to be tricky for them. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say Chelsea is going to lose or Crystal Palace is going to win. I just want to fold my hands and watch and see what will happen. So I'm on the fence on this. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to predict anything. I'm sorry.
Let me predict for you. Chelsea will lose. All right, going to the next game. That's Newcastle versus Fulham. Those two teams, I mean, Newcastle is fantastic at the moment. And Fulham, they are not bad either. I mean, they are playing so well. Robbie, what do you think about this game? Newcastle, Fulham.
Let me shoot straight for this one. I think Newcastle are actually the bride of every football fan right now. Because Eddie Howe has been doing a fantastic job at the team. Unfortunately, I think in the FA Cup they lost. They lost to Sheffield United, and of course, I really didn't think they saw that coming. But the league right now, the league has their full attention because as it is, they would give it everything that they have: manpower, money, motivation. They are going to give it everything that they have till the last man drops. So for that game against Fulham, on paper, it looks like as if Newcastle should be able to nick this. But we know that on a good day, Fulham can be a handful. Fulham can be a thorn in the flesh of any team. So But irrespective of this, I will still fancy Newcastle to get a win or a draw in this game.
All right. Now the last game for the weekend, that's on Sunday, Spurs versus Arsenal. I'm going to start with you, Ace. What's your score prediction?
Like I said earlier, I predict an Arsenal win, and I see Arsenal scoring a lot of goals.
A lot of goals. Wow.
Yeah, they're going to score a lot of goals and I see Tottenham coming out wanting to attack us, and I see Arsenal winning 3 points.
3 points. All right. What about you, Robbie? What do you think about that game? That North London game, Spurs versus Arsenal. Robbie, what's your score prediction?
So I'm actually sitting on the side of Arsenal in this particular one. I see Arsenal winning 2-1. I see Arsenal winning 2-1.
I can hear some people out there hailing. I can hear some people. They are all Arsenal fans, am I right?
Yes, they are all Arsenal fans.
I'm not an Arsenal fan, no. No.
Hey, come on for you to talk to you. Sit down for your corner.
It's weird to see a Manchester City fan in Nigeria.
It's weird.
I tell you, they are so rare.
If you look at France's history, ever since he started supporting or watching the PL, there's every tendency that it could be a former Chelsea fan or a former Arsenal fan.
The thing is, I've always hated Manchester United. So seeing Manchester City take the title from them in 2012, I didn't need any other motivation. So I slotted in straight and said,
okay, bye-bye. Happy slotting. Happy slotting.
So yeah, you see, my postulation is right. For him to have hated Manchester United, that means he would have supported Arsenal in the past, because these were the two rivals then, or Liverpool. So we know them.
No. Before I was a Barcelona fan, but seeing Manchester City take the title from Manchester United, I needed no other motivation to join them. Other motivation.
All right,
like Eric Ten Hag said, eras come to an end.
All right, Irate, what's your score prediction in the match Spurs versus Arsenal before we wrap up? Sure.
I think it's going to be a tighter affair, in my opinion. I'll go for a 1-0 draw.
Oh, well. I love sometimes. Irate, you always predict very right. 1-1, Abi.
Just like the way Man City is winning 2-1, Abi.
Oh Lord. All right, guys. We'll be having a watch along tomorrow. It's going to be massive. Early kickoff tomorrow. We'll be live here with a watch along. You can join us, viewers. Let us know where you're watching from. You can drop your comments on the comment section. Subscribe to the channel, share, and it's going to be so good to have you guys on the show today. Francis joining us for the first time. Francis is he's a Manchester City. We'll come back here tomorrow, and I will tell you.
I'll be glad to talk to Robbie. Hope he does not run after the match. I'll be glad to talk to him. I'll be glad to talk.
Run, go where? Where am I running to? I'm not running anywhere.
Prof, I just want to give you a big shout out.
All right.
I just want to give you a big shout out. No, sorry, Don. I want to give you a big shout out. So the shout out is, Prof. I know you're hearing us. I know you don't want to come.
Why do you look for Wala like this now? The
only thing you came to this show to do was just to rant about Chelsea, and which we hear you.
Yeah.
We put our hands on your shoulder.
We feel their pain.
Oh, yeah, we feel their pain. So shout out to Prof.
But do you remember that song that says, "My friend, how are you, my friend?"
Exactly. They need that song right now.
We need Chelsea demand. All right, guys, thank you so much. This is how far we can go today. Looking forward for the next game tomorrow. Francis, thank you so much. Bye for now. All right, Irate, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Don.
All right, Robbie, one love, bro.
Yes, I tell you, this is a Dawn in the building. Thank you, every one of you guys. Please smash the like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. This is how we do it every Friday for our preview the game. All right, one moment once again, people. Tomorrow we'll be here live for this match. Manchester United versus Manchester City. Watch along. Also get into our Twitter handles, Istv_1. There's a lot of prizes coming up for that show. It's been a fantastic moment. I enjoyed today's show. It's Debbie weekend. Not Deborah, but Debbie in North London. Debbie in Manchester. It's going to be massive this weekend. Thanks for everybody for joining us. It's me, the main man. Call me the Dawn. Bye for now.